pounds, and I lost 43 in 8 weeks.
It's true. He smoked 2 packs a day, and nothing worked until Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Now we're losing weight together, eating healthy, full on half the food, crazy, enjoying exercising. Who would have believed Mark Patrick Hypnosis really worked?
I can breathe again, my blood pressure went down, and I've got so much energy.
So much energy.
And look great.
Stop smoking, lose weight now without cravings, irritability, or your money back. Early bird special, $49.99 guaranteed. Join Mark Patrick's Hypnosis Seminar and lose the weight, stop smoking, and feel great for only $49.99 guaranteed. Tuesday, April 1st at the American Lodge and Suites Fergus Falls Conference Center. Weight loss seminar at 5:30, registration at 5. Stop smoking seminar at 8. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
March is the biggest sales month here at Plan Z. Hi, this is Zola from PlanZDiet.com. Why not January? Well, in January, the people who start a diet usually start the cheap or the easy ones, or maybe they join a gym, and then they find out none of that worked. You too? Have you decided it's time to get serious about a diet before summer gets here? Well, this is your lucky day. In March, we put Plan Z on sale with the lowest pricing of the year. You can get in for $19 a month and just buy your dieting supplies as you need them. You'll get a manual, the ZR50 Crave Control Spray, and you'll be on your way. How's that for affordable? You'll eat real food, nothing from a box. The recipes are easy, or you can just toss something on the grill. No drama. You also get dessert twice a day. You don't have to suffer your way through a diet. Our dieters lose an average of 31 pounds in 50 days, and that's faster than the shots out there for losing, and cheaper. Check us out at PlanZDiet.com.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Tuesday morning. It is, 9:10 and a whole lot colder than yesterday.
Oh my goodness, a whole lot colder than yesterday. Yeah, for sure. I did put on a couple of layers today thinking, I believed the forecast and it was accurate. So anyway, what a beautiful day yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it. We even sat outside in the driveway last night because the sun felt really good, late in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it is a lot colder today. So dress for it. And don't worry, it's going to get warm again later in the week, right?
Yep, a little bit later in the week, and then the weekend, bam, snow.
Oh, boy. Okay. So this is why I hate spring.
I had so many plans when I saw the forecast. I'm like, this weekend I've got some ribs. I'm going to smoke the ribs. I'm going to clean the garage a little bit.
Yep. We put pork chops on the grill last night because we thought, oh gosh, what a nice night. It was okay to sit by the grill and watch the pork chops.
It was free pie Monday, so we took Mom to Perkins.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give Dad my pie.
Okay, that sounds great. You know what I was thinking though? So now we're complaining today about 20s and 30s when just a couple of weeks ago, we were at like 28 degrees below zero.
We were killed for 20.
So we get one nice day, and then we begin to compare everything to that one nice day, and now we're mad about 30 degrees.
Well, it's because we remembered what spring was like.
Well, we remembered it. Boy, isn't it funny, though? All things are relative to the day before, it feels like, in terms of the weather.
Well, it's funny, though. I'm looking at our Weather Spotter Network powered by Ottertail Power Company. We had a high in Fergus at 64. John Waller and Pelican had 62. Vern Peterson northeast of Underwood had 61. So a very nice day all the way around.
Boy, for sure. Well, hopefully you got out to enjoy it. I was about ready to get my bike out, and then I saw it today. But maybe later in the week, there might be a day or two where it would be okay to go for a quick ride, huh? Yeah. So here's the thing. I've got an e-bike, an electric bike. And just for those of you who think that it's just like a scooter, it's not. Mine, you have to pedal in order to take advantage of the assist.
Yours is, I was going to say, yours is better identified as an e-assist bike than an e-bike.
Okay, so that's...
Because you have to actually do something.
I actually have to pedal in order to get the assist if I need it. So here's how you do it. You can just ride it like a normal bike and pedal, or you can turn on your power so that the battery is on, but you haven't selected any of the assist. Or you can hit levels 1 through 4 of assist, and then when you pedal, when you need it, the assist will just kick in automatically. So I like it because I like to ride it like a normal bike as often as I can. What I do is I turn the power on, but I don't turn the assist on until I need it. And then I turn it off again. So if I see a big hill coming, I'm going to turn the assist on, not going to lie. But when you're going down a hill or you're just going, and it depends on where you're riding, you know. On some of these trails out by Maplewood, it is so hilly, unbelievably hilly. And I would never be able to do it without the assist.
I remember back when I lived in Battle Lake and I was in a lot better shape. I used to bike to from my cabin to Glendalough, which was 4 miles.
I love Glendalough.
So I'd go around I guess it'd be the east,
and there's a really nice trail now all the way out to Glendalough.
Now there is, but there wasn't back then. So I'd go around the west side of the lake.
Oh boy.
And then where the trail is now, so I'd go, through town, past Shoreline, and then I'd take the road out by the public access, and then I'd take the road out on Gold Beach.
Right.
Which now I guess it goes out to the airport and then over, but I took, that was back then how you went. And so I'd go do that, then I'd do some of the trails, and I'd bike, since I got a mountain bike, I'd bike the hiking trail. So, I mean, it'd be like straight up, you'd be like the top gear, spinning your legs, and you're barely moving, but you're
I don't work that hard, not now.
Well, like I said, I was in shape back then.
Yeah, well, I just decided, I'm going to throw in the towel and get the e-assist bike, as you call it, because otherwise I'm just not going to ride bike anymore. And it's so much fun. And, you at this age, it's easier on your joints and everything to ride bike, and it's just a lot of fun. I have a neighbor at the lake who we got matching bikes, and so they operate the same, and we load those things up or take off from with the cabin, and we have so much fun. So I look forward to biking season.
Yeah, your place out on the lake, you've got a busy highway.
We do have a busy highway.
I'd feel more safe, taking those bikes to a place where it's a little less busy.
And usually that's what we do, because to get on any of the trails it's quite a hike. A lot of times, if we're just in for a short ride, it's about 7.5 miles. We just go around Crystal Lake. Okay. And yes, we do have to ride on County Road 31. But other than that, it's gravel most of the way, and there's very little traffic for about 3/4 of the lake.
Oh, that's
so,
nice.
But you're right. County Road 4 and County Road 31 are pretty darn busy, especially during the height of the summer season. So usually we do load them up, and there's so many good places for you to park and unload your bikes and get right on the trail. So that's usually what we do, because I'm with you. It's dangerous to ride on those highly traveled, and there just isn't a lot of shoulder to ride on. And it's no fun for cars to try to get around you either. So I totally agree. We try to, although it's a bit of a hassle to load up your bike, they're heavy. They weigh about 70 to 75 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're heavy. And so to lift them up and get them on the carrier, and, it's a bit of a hassle, but again, worth the effort. I can't wait to start riding
bikes. A super light Trek mountain bike that I can just lift up with 2 fingers. It's
I know.
Again, put that I know.
I don't know if it's the battery or
battery, the motor.
I suppose that makes it so heavy, but they are heavy. Speaking of e-bikes, Ford has now begun making e-bikes.
Nice.
And they're going to be selling. Now, I don't know too much about them, what their battery range or any of the bells and whistles, but they're not inexpensive, for sure.
No.
But it'll be interesting to see what the Ford e-bike looks like.
I've thought about picking up an e-bike or an e-assist bike many times, and then I look at the price and I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, they are expensive. They are. But I can tell you, I think mine was, just to give you an idea, mine was in the $2,000 range. And I know that sounds like a lot of money, and it is. But, if that's the only way you can ride bike, and I just kind of tucked away money knowing that that's something that I really, really wanted to do. And boy, we've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of that, and for years to come.
And there you go.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. My only beef is it does, we can go about, depending on the wind, your battery, if you left it on, you could go about 35 miles. Now, if you turn it off and on like I do, you can make it last a lot longer. It just depends on where you're riding, and over at Glendalough, you don't need much power.
No, unless
you ride on
you're
their
doing one of
trails.
the trails that are not designed for bikes.
Right. But boy, I tell you, Glendalough is one of my favorite places to
yeah.
ride bike. And we park at Chief Wenonga, and then we ride the trail all the way over there. And it's such a nice ride. I have no idea how long it is, but it's really a nice ride. That's one of my favorites. It's not super long.
Yeah.
Would you say the trails through Glendalough are maybe 4 miles?
Yeah,
5 miles?
they've really developed them since the last time I was out there.
It's really, really nice.
Because they weren't paved when I was there.
Okay, yeah, and it's probably a couple of miles to ride over there, but it's just a nice quick ride, and then when you're done, you're in Battle Lake, so you can go and
All the
have
fun
lunch
stuff.
or shop or do whatever. I love Battle Lake.
What I always hated was, so it was about 4 miles from my cabin to Glendalough, then bike around Glendalough for, several miles, maybe bring food, whatever, and then bike back. And then soon as you got to the edge of that hill to go into town,
Oh boy,
that's the hill I always hated. It's just like, oh,
and especially at the end of your ride.
yeah. The end of your day.
Well, that's where if we ride right from our cabins, it's this big dip down from either side. It's big hills it doesn't matter which direction you go. Huge hills on either side.
Yep.
And one especially is even hard to walk, much less ride bike. But people do it all the time. We see bikes going by there all day long, every day, it seems.
I just keep pedaling, going, it's only 2 blocks to Summit. It's
I know.
only 2 blocks to
Hang
Summit.
hang in there. Well, a little later in the show, we're going to talk about March Madness.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, boy, it's starting to heat up, and some teams punching their ticket to the dance. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that. Okay, so Elon Musk comes out, and he's talking about all the cuts. And he's talking about, I saw an interview, and I'm just talking off the top of my head now because it was too long to air. But what he said essentially was, listen, we've got a Doge website, and every single cut is listed on that site. So he said people come to him and say, well, I don't believe in this and all these cuts and blah, blah, blah. And he'll say, well, which one are you having a problem with? And he said most of the time people can't even come up with one.
No, because they just hear rumors and they're just like, hey.
But he said, it's absolutely total transparency. Every single cut is there, line by line. Anyway, he said foreign aid is one of the most maybe misused terms, because foreign aid doesn't just mean food and water and medicine.
Yeah.
It means things like crazy, stupid things that they are supporting in other countries that we have no business paying for. But again, line by line transparency if you would like to see exactly what is being cut. Because that's the big deal with all these cuts at USAID. People are saying, oh my gosh, we're not going to feed the hungry, and we're not going to take care of famine. We're not going to ship water to the places that need water. That's not true. So take a look at what is labeled foreign aid and what has been cut, and you'll say, I can't believe we were doing that. Can't believe we were paying for that. But anyway, people just see that one big, we're going to cut it, and they see foreign aid and they think, oh, the U.S. is not going to take care of people around the world anymore, which isn't true.
I do have to laugh. Donald Trump did make one error in his speech where he talked about transgender mice. It's not actually transgender mice. It's a different T word, and it's like a actual scientific thing.
Well, we can expect more of that, I'm sure.
Derek, are you listening? No, he's not listening.
Okay.
I was going to say, because he's the one that told me about it. He goes, no, it's not transgender, Mike. It's like some kind of genetic thing that they're working on, and it's actually in the medical field, and it's actually kind of important. So
Okay, all right. Well, Elon Musk criticized federal benefit programs like Social Security, alleging widespread fraud and advocating for a reduction in government spending on entitlements. Critics from both parties are continuing to question the controversial billionaire's qualifications and his authority to restructure the U.S. government. Stocks, of course, plummeted. I would hate to be an investment guy today, or gal. I would not want to be somebody who is handling other people's money because, boy, I tell you, taking a look at the markets the last couple of days, it's got some people in a tailspin. I guess my advice to you is just don't look. Just don't watch. Don't
look. Don't just understand the phrase, it's a paper loss. It's a loss on paper. Yep. It's not a loss in monetary gain unless you take your money out right now.
Well, right. And so that's what your investment person would tell you is to just hold on. It's
a good time to buy stock.
Yeah, but once in a while you need to be led, off the ledge when you're feeling like, oh my goodness. Dow Jones fell 890 points. And the trade war with China escalated as Beijing imposed tariffs on American farm products, while Ontario announced a surcharge on electricity exports to the U.S.
Minnesota.
So is Minnesota included in that? Okay, so there was a number of states that could potentially be affected by that. So new guy in charge in Canada, but it appears to be same old, same old.
Yep.
New sheriff in town, but kind of the same policies. Amid concerns of potential funding cuts by the Trump administration, Ivy League universities like Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania have halted faculty hiring. The freezes aim to mitigate financial risks and uncertainties, anticipating reductions in research funding from the NIH. And I think sometimes when we talk about all these cuts, we don't realize who might be affected. I talked to somebody over the weekend who works in, it's long-term care, but it's things like brain injuries and that sort of thing, group home kinds of activities. Well, they are funded by, state and federal funding to quite a big degree. And so they're a little worried about where that funding and maybe some potential cuts in funding, what that would do to not only the care for these individuals, but of course the people and their jobs. So I think we don't always know how far-reaching some of these government cuts could be. Also talked to a kid who wants to go into land management. I don't even know what you call it, but it's a government program. And fish and wildlife, that sort of thing. And just a real outdoor enthusiast, thought that in college that would be a great idea, and then started thinking about a couple of things. First of all these government cuts, and is that what you really want to go for, your 4 degree, when you don't even know if those things will even exist in 4 years? And then the other thing is, when they do land those jobs, nobody ever gives them up. So those openings are few and far between. So if you've got a kid or grandkid who is thinking of that, maybe hit pause or at least do some research for sure. All right, when we come back, we'll talk March Madness and a little bit about the Menendez brothers that everybody's been following, whether or not after 30 years, are these guys really going to get out of prison? Well, they had a bit of a setback yesterday, so we'll talk about that and more when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Tired of working with digital marketing agencies 1,000 miles away who don't get your community? At Leighton Engage, we keep it local. Real strategists, real people, right here. With a deep understanding of your community, we create campaigns that truly resonate. We pair you with a dedicated local strategist who knows your market and audience inside and out. Tailored solutions, real results, marketing that works.
Leighton Engage. Find your focus. Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
Hey there, local farmers. Tired of the hassle of processing and butchering your livestock? They've got you covered at Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, your trusted partner in meat processing. From custom cuts to expert butchering, they handle it all with care and precision. Whether it's beef, pork, or lamb, they deliver a quality you can count on. Serving Fergus Falls and the Lakes area, they're proud to support local farmers just like you. Call them today at Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, where quality meets tradition.
KBRFradio.com is your online home for News Talk 1250 KBRF. You'll find the latest in local and national news, plus sports, and you can podcast or stream live. That's at KBRFradio.com.
Selecting the right multi-peril crop insurance policy and hail coverage are big decisions. Thankfully, the team at Ag Country Farm Credit Services can help you find the right fit for your farming needs. The specialists at Ag Country know agriculture and will utilize their exclusive Optimum tool to save you time and protect your bottom line. Contact your local Ag Country office today to get started. Ag Country. Focused on ag, focused on you. Ag Country is an equal opportunity lender and provider.
Markets this hour brought to you by Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a customer-owned cooperative.
Good morning, market update on the Red River Farm Network. I'm Randy Conan. Grain markets quietly two-sided here this morning. Traders waiting for this morning's USDA supply demand report. RCM Ag Services market analyst Steve Wagner not expecting USDA to make any big moves.
I don't think we're looking at any major changes out of the USDA today. So I think a non-report is going to more likely than not have a negative bias, but I think it still comes back to where the money's at. They did liquidate a fair chunk of position last week, and if they continue to do that, that will continue to put pressure on the market. I don't see them doing that, though. I think right now it takes another bump in the tariff war to get the funds agitated enough to execute another position move.
Livestock markets narrowly mixed, slightly firmer.
Packer margins still deeply in the red at 109. So this isn't a market that's going to go wildly higher. But when you've got April cattle trading at just over $200 and cash trade last week was 203, 204 in the Corn Belt, it makes it pretty difficult to push April futures lower. Now, it doesn't mean we're going wildly higher, but my bias in cattle is still up.
Cash cattle trade quiet here this morning. A few early asking prices being noted around 202 plus live. Nothing in the dress business. Bids very elusive as well. Cutouts expected to be higher. This is the Red River Farm Network.
This is a public service announcement. Don't let Jake near your farm. He'll destroy your cereal crops. He's 5'10", wears flannels, and...
Oh, hey, Jake. Are you telling everyone I'm ruining your crops? Yep. But why? We're pickleball partners. I just don't think disease could do this much damage. It's gotta be you.
Stop playing the blame game. It's probably wireworms. They can cause up to an 80% crop loss for cereal farmers. For a higher yield potential, get Taraxa F4C treatment from BASF, the only tool for rapid wireworm elimination. Always read and follow label instructions.
This winter, many areas have had little to no snow cover. What does this mean for weed pressure in your fields? I'm Darren Hefty with Hefty Seed Company. For months this winter, we saw bare fields everywhere. This is bad news because weeds gain an advantage in years with little snow. Early warm days especially give winter annuals a head start, meaning pre-plant and pre-emerge herbicides are more important than ever. So talk to your local Hefty agronomist and be ready. We're here to help with answers to overcome any challenges like weed control that you'll face this season.
Throughout this month, the Red River Farm Network is highlighting the role of women in agriculture. Our special series called Agriculture. This focus made possible by the Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotion Council, along with the Minnesota Corn Growers Association, North Dakota Corn Council, Van Ahn and Company, and Ag Country Farm Credit Services. Kristen Duncanson was the first female president of the Minnesota Soybean Growers Association and the first to chair AgriGrowth. Agricultural advocacy is important, and Kristen encourages others to take on that role.
Meet people where they are and make them realize that you are taking a bit of a risk, but that risk will benefit a reward at the end. You need to mentor and walk with them on that journey a bit. I'm working with a great group of younger farmers from across the country right now, and but I love that.
For the entire series, visit the Red River Farm Network website or YouTube channel.
May wheat, Minneapolis is down 6 cents, 5.98.5. Chicago May wheat's down 2. Kansas City May wheat down 2 1/4. May corn 4 cents higher, 4.75 3/4. December corn's up 1 3/4 at 4.56 1/2. May soybeans 3 3/4, now 4 higher at 10.18. November soybeans 2 3/4 higher, 10.20 1/2. May canola in Winnipeg's down $8.90 a metric ton, 5.96 even Canadian. April live cattle down 17 cents, $200.40. June's down 47. April feeder cattle 20 cents higher, 278.12. May is up 22 cents. April lean hogs down 40 cents at 87.90. May down 30. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking now without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back.
Totally changed my life.
It's amazing.
I don't have any cravings.
You want to quit, but have found it impossible? This is the thing for you. I have absolutely no craving. It's the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's not for entertainment. It's for results.
Do it. It works. Period.
You've tried everything else. You need to come and try this.
Early bird special, only $49.99 guaranteed. Because don't just cut down, but stop smoking. In addition, lose all the weight 100% guaranteed. With Mark Patrick seminars, let hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings and lose the weight. That's right, seminar Tuesday, April 1st at the American Lodge and Suites Fergus Falls Conference Center. Weight loss seminar at 5:30, stop smoking seminar at 8. Registration 30 minutes before seminar. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. Presented by Fergus Falls Monument Company.
March is Food Shelf Month in Minnesota. The number of people relying on help from food shelves is at a record high, an increase of over 30% in the last year, according to Hunger Solutions of Minnesota. Support your local food shelves with a donation today.
With the world's most efficient water softeners, drinking water systems, and bottleless coolers, Culligan Water helps you cut back on waste and enjoy more of the water you love. Call Culligan Water of Elbow Lake and Fergus Falls today.
When a loved one passes, we understand that honoring and preserving your family legacy matters. Hi, I'm Ryan Welly with the Fergus Falls Monument Company. Creating your everlasting memorial is our specialty, and creating and crafting them locally is all that we do. Our inventory is extensive, so costs are manageable with the almost unlimited number of designs for you to choose. Your memorial preserves your family legacy with an everlasting warranty now and forever, guaranteed. Call us, visit us online at fergusfallsmonument.com. Memorials that matter.
There we go. News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the Fergus Now app on your phone. As we have a 9:37. Looking at our forecast today, topping out around 38. 28 tonight's low. We'll hit 51 for tomorrow, 64 Thursday, 65 Friday. Just when you think it's going to be nice, well, the weekend comes. 27 for our high on Saturday and Sunday, 45 on Monday with some snow coming in on a Saturday. They're not giving us a total yet, but they are saying we're going to see a bit.
Okay. Well, right. I actually looked. My weather app says 3 to 5 inches.
Ooh.
So I don't know how accurate that is, but I have a feeling we might be doing a little shoveling.
We're not done with winter, yes.
Yeah, we're not. And didn't I tell you that? Yeah. Remember, there's this model out there, and I don't know what it's called, but they're able to sort of predict a little bit further down the road than a 10-day forecast, and it's pretty accurate. And it said after the 15th.
And if you go to our KBRF Facebook page, you can take our weekly poll, and that weekly poll is how much snow are we going to get in the months of March and April?
Yep.
So
Yep. And I think I said 6 inches, and I think I bet on 3 over the weekend.
yeah,
So-
I'm thinking we're going to get at least 8 before everything's done.
Okay, all right. Well, our friend Kevin responded via text when we were talking about I threw in the towel and got an electric bike. He said, yeah, I threw in the same towel, but I got a car. So evidently he's not into e-biking with me. And I told him, I said, you ought to get one. They're awfully nice. So anyway, fun to have Kevin tuned in this morning. Okay, so we're going to talk about, the Menendez brothers. That they have been in the news a lot lately, and it
Yeah.
all kind of came after that Netflix series. They've been in prison now for 30 years for the murder of both of their parents,
Yep.
and it kind of looked like they were going to get a resentencing hearing. Now that hearing, I think, comes up just in a couple of days, or maybe it's next week, Monday, maybe it's the 20th. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway. The district attorney kind of gave them sort of a crushing blow, and this DA is new in Los Angeles, announced that his office will withdraw the request to reduce the sentences of Lyle and Eric Menendez, citing a lack of remorse and acknowledgement of their crimes. The brothers, serving life without parole for their parents' 1989 murders, failed to admit the fabricated self-defense claim. Despite previous support for resentencing by former DA George Gascon, now we've got a different sheriff in town, somebody new in office, and he opposes it, emphasizing public safety concerns and the need for accountability. The brothers' attorneys have sought clemency from Governor Gavin Newsom, which, comparing their lack of remorse to that of Robert Kennedy's assassin, Sirhan Sirhan. Been a while since you heard that name, right?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, and so the case, popularized in the mid-1990s and more recently in documentaries and TV series, continues to spark debate and legal proceedings. So one of a few things could happen. They could be resentenced. They could have their sentence commuted. And so in that case, they would be
free.
They'd be free. So, and then the third is just to do nothing and leave them in prison, which is one of the choices.
I like
So-
that idea.
Well, what I read this morning about the case was that they've caught these two even recently in so many lies that they just really can't believe anything they say, and their defense then is a little shaky because they can't believe that anything that they say. So anyway, I thought that was interesting, but it's gotten to be a big deal. But when the DA said, nah, I'm going to withdraw that, the resentencing, and it's just days ahead of when it was supposed to happen. So now it's up in the air whether that will actually happen or not. I thought this story was interesting. We hear of a lot of illegal things happening in our country, but there are more illegal eggs being seized than fentanyl.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Thursday night into Friday morning, North and South America. Oh, I take that back. I'm on the wrong page here. Yeah, let's see. So the end of that story, illegal eggs and fentanyl. Since October of 2024, customs officers have made 3,768 seizures of bird and poultry-related products, more than 10 times the number of seizures of fentanyl. So that's good.
Hey, you want to buy an egg?
I know. Yeah, the black market on
Black
eggs,
market,
which,
yes.
gosh, we're going to have to use here soon. There's been a 36% increase in people trying to bring eggs into the country illegally. However, bringing fresh eggs and raw chicken into the country is illegal due to disease concerns. It appears there are more eggs being smuggled into the U.S. from Canada right now than fentanyl. Matthew Holmes of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce said this, and an employee of the No Frills grocery store in Niagara Falls says he spotted Americans crossing the border for cheaper eggs. A dozen eggs at No Frills cost $3.73, while the same dozen goes for $4.95 or more just across county lines.
I love that $4.95.
Or country lines. I know. It's like double that.
Yeah, it's like
I paid over $8 for my last. I'm glad I don't go through a lot of eggs.
I had to laugh. One of our former colleagues who moved up north on the border had to post a photo from what the Walmart on the other side of the border, and he's like, "Hey, Americans, check this out." It's like, well, you still live in America, Greg. So.
Oh boy. Well, anyway. Okay. So the blood moon. Every time this comes around, it's a big deal. Thursday night into Friday morning, North and South Americans will be able to see the total lunar eclipse.
Yep.
The Earth will cast a shadow that will block the moon. The last total lunar eclipse was in 2022. The blood moon, as it's referred to, will be visible for an hour starting at 2:26 a.m. Eastern Time. So 1:26 here. That's Friday morning. So if you feel like getting up in the middle of the night, overnight Thursday into Friday, good for you.
I've seen a blood moon, so I'm going to say.
I will not be setting my alarm for that. For a lunar eclipse, no special eyewear is needed like a solar eclipse. As long as the sky is clear, you should be able to see it. So they're saying that people in Asia, Africa, and Europe will need to wait until March of 2026 before they'll be able to see it. So it's us Americans who get the benefit of that.
I've seen a lot of blood moons, and so
Yeah.
I stayed up till that time to see rocket launches when I was in Florida, but I'm not going to stay up that long to see a blood moon.
Okay. All right. Noted. Pardon me. All right. Let's see. How about this one? Single mom. We hear of these stories so often. More of these scams out there. Be careful. She is a single mom. She thought she had found love on a site called Tinder. It's a dating site. But now she fears she has been scammed out of $40,000. I do not understand how this happens. She said, "It turned my life upside down." And she fell for a man who claimed to be an engineer living in Turkey. While the chats started out hot and steamy, her beau soon asked for money for hospital bills. Boy, red flag, red flag, red flag. While the chat started, anyway, so then the chat started changing a little bit. She eventually figured out that it was a scam. She says she spent about $40,000 before she became fed up. Now she has to deliver food for extra cash. She said, "I curse him every time I'm outdoor dashing, busting my butt to make some money, and all because of him." So, well,
yeah, you got to be
careful.
smart. If you meet somebody online and they magically need money,
I know.
it's a scam.
Boy, don't you think?
Especially Tinder. I mean, you figure that's like a dating
It's
app.
a dating app.
I don't understand how they'd do
I
that
don't know,
without
but you
meeting
know,
up.
so you fall in love with somebody who's in Turkey. How's that going to go? You know, I've had friends who have been on these dating apps, and if somebody is in, Montana, they say, long distance, that's not going to work, and they move on. But Turkey? How's that going to go? Might as well be in prison, huh? I love this headline. 57% of Americans are not honest with their dentist.
No, say it ain't
No.
so. Say it ain't so. I swear I flossed this morning. I flossed, I tell you, I flossed.
I did. My cousin, now retired, but was a dentist, and he was my dentist. And I asked him, I said, "Okay, so when I lie to the dentist or the hygienist and tell them that I floss every day, do you know I'm lying?" And he
Yes.
just got a big smile on his face, and he said, "Of course we do." So it doesn't do any good to lie to your dentist, just saying.
I always love the Jeff Foxworthy bit where he goes, dentists make us all out to be liars. When was the last time you flossed? Well, last time I flossed, you did it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. When was I here last? That was it. I'm a pretty good flosser, though.
I floss on occasion. I probably floss.
Do you know what I do? And this is helpful for me. I keep those flossing
Those little pick things?
those
Yeah.
little pick things.
Yeah, that's what we
I
use.
keep them in my car.
Good.
And especially in the summertime when I'm driving back and forth, that's when I do my flossing. I know that sounds weird, but you've got the time and it's not a huge distraction from driving. You're still watching the road while flossing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I brush my teeth and I use mouthwash every day, but it's the flossing, it's, when I have a moment or two with those little pick things.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody has like a tooth or two teeth where stuff gets stuck. And so just for that reason, I can't stand that feeling. So I keep them in my car and I don't know, that seems to, I feel like I have the time and that's when I do it. So if you're driving around and you see me, that's probably what I'm doing. They say that 60% want to impress their dentist and they don't want them to think less of them, so they just lie. Well, it doesn't do you any good. No. Anyway, they say that's why it's so important to have a dentist that you trust and you feel comfortable with, because then you can actually tell the truth. Yeah. And they're going to know anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Really, I'm looking at your gums and they're bleeding. Are you sure you're flossing every day?
Yeah, for sure.
I swear like 3 times a day.
Oh my goodness, I know. It doesn't do any good to lie. They know. Okay, so here's a job. Do you want this job? To be Gene Simmons' personal assistant and band roadie. Now, you might think you'd get paid for this. No. He is going to charge you to do it. You will have to pay $12,495 if you would like this job.
Isn't it for charity or something?
Let's see. They can act as personal assistant and band roadie for a day.
Yep.
Assisting with load-in stage setup and enjoying backstage access, including a meal with Simmons and introduction during the gig. Okay, let's read on. It's limited to one fan per venue, and the experience includes a bass guitar previously used by Kiss. Another package, the Gene Simmons Bass Experience, allows a fan and 3 guests to meet Simmons backstage and purchase one of his bass guitars between $6,500 and $12,500, depending on whether it was once played on stage. The tour is scheduled for 19 days throughout the U.S., kicking off April 3rd in Anaheim and winding down May 24th in Houston. Doesn't say anything about any charity. It just talks about the fact that
if I was a huge Kiss fan and a lot younger, I would
you'd
do
pay
that.
$12,000 to do
If I
that
had
for a
money.
day.
It'd be an ultimate experience
they
with your if that was your jam, if that was,
I
love
can't think of anyone that I would spend $12,000 to spend the day
Well,
with.
if I had money, I would, but
Even if you had the money, $12,000 to spend a day with somebody who thinks they're special, I don't know.
He's a rock star.
Well, he is a rock star, but so what? You'd spend $12,000, man, I'd go on vacation.
No, but I mean, obviously, if I made like 5 or 6 times the amount of money I make now, it'd be a good experience.
Even if I had a lot of money, I don't see myself. I can't think of anyone that I like enough, especially anybody in Hollywood. Yuck.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would spend the day with. Ronald Reagan, I would have maybe. I loved Ronald Reagan. I've read so many books about him that if you thought you liked Ronald Reagan before, read the books that I've been reading, and he was quite a guy.
We were at the Fergus Falls Home and Garden Show over the weekend, and we were talking about marketing, and we talked about the Pet Rock, and I'm like, no. Pet Rock was genius, but if you want to talk about absolute marketing genius, Gene Simmons and his Kiss labeled air guitar strings.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So
You're
basically,
kidding.
it is a package.
That's got
the top
nothing
thing,
inside.
Got the top thing,
The bar.
the
that
little,
you-
the little cardboard, thing. It's just the generic plastic. Then the plastic bag below it, and of course there's air guitar strings in there.
And people bought them.
People buy them left and right. They sell them for like $1. So I mean, it's not like you're spending a lot of money, but it's just a novelty thing.
Wow.
Kiss branded air guitar strings.
Why in the world did we not think of those kinds of things?
Well, first off, nobody's going to buy a Dave Bishop branded air guitar strings or a
I don't know.
Dolan.
You're pretty popular around here.
Not,
They might.
not for people to buy nothing in a plastic bag.
I know, but isn't it weird, the stuff that people will buy?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, couple of trivia questions, and they're about snacks. today.
Snack.
Yeah.
You're back on me.
So, first one is about popcorn.
Okay.
Popcorn comes, I did not know this, in which two shapes? Did you know this?
But shapes?
Yeah, I've never heard it.
Is it the kernel or the popped?
No, it's popped. It's the popped part.
It comes with kernel and non-kernel shapes?
Mushroom and butterfly. Never heard.
I could see that.
Maybe.
I mean, if you think about what a popped
What they
kernel
look
looks
like?
yeah, I guess,
Maybe.
yep.
Okay. All right, one more. What food produce is, let's see. That's not right. What food, it's a snack.
Okay.
What is the snack that smiles back?
Oh, that's goldfish.
It is goldfish.
Because it's kind of creepy.
It
the
is
snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
I know. I really like goldfish too.
Hey, you gonna eat me?
Yeah. And then smiles. Yeah, it's kind of a cute little slug line for the goldfish, the snack that smiles back.
Yeah, my kids love goldfish, especially the youngest Adam. He's always been a huge goldfish fan.
You know
so we've
what
always
is
bought
my
them.
other I really, really like? It's not labeled as a snack. It's more of a candy or desserty thing for me, is like gummy bears or,
Yeah, I like those.
Oh, I love them.
I could eat a couple. I really can't sit down and eat them. I'll have like
Gosh,
4 or 5, that's it.
I can eat way too many. But a friend of mine, and I can't remember the brand, but she got me a bag, and I don't know how much it weighed, but it was 14 inches long and maybe 7 or 8 inches high, this huge bag.
Wow.
And it was full. And my grandkids love
Probably
them.
Haribo or
And
something like that.
yeah, Haribo, that's one brand. This was a different one, and some are better than others, honestly.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness. And you know when they're really good is if they're in the freezer.
I have not had frozen gummy bears.
Yeah.
I must try it.
That's pretty
for
good.
Science.
All right, feel-good story of the day. Special education teacher Jackie Dennis received a double lung transplant, and now she's leading her class in making blankets for donor families. While she's able to enjoy now watching her daughter grow up, she knows that receiving the lungs means another family experienced heartbreak. Over the years, she has grown close to the donor's family. And she said that I am lucky enough to have such a good relationship that I can send pictures of my daughter, who I now get to spend time with. I can send pictures of what my students are doing, and I get to show her the impact that her daughter, the donor, has had on me and my family
nice.
and my class. I love that too. Good stuff. People who have a real appreciation for life and what it took for them to live. Yeah,
Because you got to realize when those donors, I mean, somebody had to die.
I know, and it's a tough thing, you know. But I know firsthand a couple of families who have gotten to be good friends with the donor families, and it's an interesting bond for sure. You know, it's bittersweet in lots of ways. All right, coming up on 10 o'clock, we have to change the clock in here, by the way, but I'm not tall enough, so that's your job. Anyway, coming up on 10 o'clock, that is going to wrap it up. Our show today and every day is brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great Tuesday.